Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're here today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. Have you ever wanted to say one simple sentence in English? You knew the words. You knew what you wanted to say. But then, your mind started working. Is this grammar correct? Is there a better word? Does my pronunciation sound strange? Will they understand me? You thought about one sentence. Then you changed it. You thought again. Then you changed it again. And after thinking and thinking and thinking, the moment was gone. Has this ever happened to you? Can we think about one young man? One afternoon, he was talking with an English teacher. The teacher smiled. What did you do this weekend? The young man knew the answer. He went to the park. He ate lunch with his friend. It was a good day. Simple. But inside his mind, something very different was happening. I went to the park. No. Maybe I should say I visited the park. But is visited better? And should I say with my friend? Or together with my friend? The teacher waited. The young man kept thinking. Finally, he smiled nervously. It was good. The teacher smiled. That's nice. Then the conversation moved on. Later that evening, the young man thought about the moment. I knew what I wanted to say. Why was it so difficult? Can I ask you something? Maybe his English was not the problem. Maybe he was simply thinking too much. Many English learners do this. They want every word to be correct. They want every sentence to sound natural. They want every answer to be good. So before they speak, they think, then they check, then they worry, then they think again. And little by little, English becomes heavy. Can I tell you something? A simple sentence should not feel like carrying a big rock. But sometimes, we make it feel that way. Today, I want to share 7 signs that you may be thinking too much in English. Maybe you will see yourself in one sign. Maybe in 3. Maybe in all 7. That is okay. This is not a story about doing everything wrong. It is a story about making English feel lighter, easier, more natural. Because sometimes, better English does not begin with learning more. Sometimes, it begins with letting go. Letting go of perfect grammar. Letting go of perfect words. Letting go of the need to sound perfect. Your English does not always need more knowledge. Sometimes, it simply needs more freedom. So, let us begin with our first sign. You make every sentence too long. Can I ask you something? When someone asks you a simple question, do you try to give a big answer? Maybe someone asks, do you like coffee? A simple answer could be, yes, or yes, I do, or I love coffee. But inside your mind, you begin building something bigger. Yes, I have enjoyed drinking coffee for many years because then you stop. You search for another word. You worry about grammar. And suddenly, a simple question becomes difficult. Can we think about one woman? She was visiting another country. One morning, she went to a small cafe. The worker smiled. Would you like milk in your coffee? The woman understood. She wanted to say, just a little. But then, she started thinking, should I say a little milk? Or a small amount of milk? Should I say please at the beginning? She kept thinking. The worker waited. Finally, the woman pointed at the milk. Little? The worker smiled. Sure. Later. The woman laughed at herself. Why did I make that so difficult? Can I ask you another question? Have you ever done something similar? We often believe longer English is better English, but that is not true. Simple English can be beautiful. Simple English can be clear. Simple English can connect people. Children understand this naturally. They do not wait until they can make long sentences. They say, "I'm hungry. I like this. Let's go." Simple, clear, useful. Maybe we can learn from them. If someone asks, "How was your day?" you do not need a 5-minute answer. Say, "It was good." Then, if you want, add one more sentence. "I was busy." Then another. "But I'm happy now." Do you see? One small sentence. Then another. Then another. Speaking can grow slowly. Can I tell you one more thing? Think about walking across a river. There are small stones in the water. You do not need to jump from one side to the other. Step on one stone, then the next, then the next. Simple sentences are like those stones. They help you move forward. So do not carry your whole idea in one sentence. Break it into small pieces. Say one thing, then another. Give yourself time. That is our first sign. You make every sentence too long. And the simple answer, let your English be smaller. Because sometimes the shortest road is the easiest way forward. Our second sign happens very quickly inside your mind. You check grammar before every word. Can I ask you something? What happens when you begin an English sentence? Maybe you say, "Yesterday." Then you stop. Wait, yesterday means past. So I need the past tense. Is it went or gone? Do I need did? Maybe this sentence is wrong. And before you finish, you forget what you wanted to say. Can we think about one young woman? She was talking with her English-speaking friend. Her friend asked, "What did you eat for dinner?" The woman wanted to answer. She said, "I..." Then she stopped. Inside her mind, a grammar teacher appeared. Past tense. Check the verb. Check the sentence. Do not make a mistake. The woman became nervous. Finally, she said, "I eat pizza." Then she quickly covered her mouth. "Oh no! I said eat. I should say ate." Her friend smiled. "I understood you." But the woman was still worried. She thought about the mistake for the next 10 minutes. Can I ask you something? Did the small mistake destroy the conversation? No. Did her friend stop understanding her? No. But inside her mind, the mistake became very big. Many learners do this. They do not only speak English. They watch themselves speaking English. They check every word, every verb, every small grammar point. It is like trying to walk while looking at your feet every second. What happens? Walking becomes difficult. Maybe speaking is the same. Grammar is useful. Of course it is. Grammar helps us understand how English works. But when you are speaking, you do not need to check everything at the same time. Say the sentence first. Let it come outside. Then, if you notice a mistake, you can learn from it later. Can I tell you one more thing? Think about riding a bicycle. When you first learn, you think about everything. Your hands, your feet, your balance, the road. It feels difficult. But after practice, you stop thinking about every small movement. You simply ride. English needs time to become like that too. At first, you may think about grammar often. That is natural. But little by little, Give yourself permission to speak first. Check later. Use the grammar you know. Trust the practice you already did. And when a mistake comes, let it come. Learn. Then continue. That is our second sign. You check grammar before every word. And the simple answer: do not let grammar stop the sentence before it has a chance to live. Our third sign is easy to see. You change your answer again and again. Can I ask you something? Have you ever written an English message, then deleted it? You wrote one sentence. You looked at it. No, this sounds strange. So you changed it. Then you read it again. Maybe the first sentence was better. So you changed it back. 10 minutes later, you were still looking at one simple message. Can we think about one young man? He wanted to send an English message to his friend. His friend had asked, "Do you want to have lunch tomorrow?" The answer was simple. "Yes, that sounds good." The young man wrote it. Then he stopped. Does that sound natural? He deleted it. "I would like to have lunch with you tomorrow." He looked at the sentence. Too serious. He deleted it. Sure. He looked again. Too short. He changed it. Then again. And again. Finally. 20 minutes later, he sent, "Yes, that sounds good," the exact sentence he wrote at the beginning. Can I ask you another question? What happened during those 20 minutes? Did his English become much better? No. Did his friend need the perfect message? No. The young man was searching for something that did not need to be found. The perfect answer. Many learners do this while speaking too. They begin with one sentence. Then they stop. They go back. They change a word. They begin again. And the conversation becomes harder. Children do something different. They say what they want to say. Then they continue. Maybe the sentence is not perfect, but the moment stays alive. Can I tell you one more thing? Imagine standing in front of two doors. You open the first door. Then you think, maybe the other door is better. So you close it. You open the second door. Then you think about the first door again. If you continue like this, you never enter the room. English can feel the same. Sometimes, the first simple answer is enough. Trust it. Use it. Move forward. You can always learn a better expression later. But you do not need the best expression for every moment. Good enough is often good enough. So the next time you answer a question, try something simple. Say it. Then continue. Do not go back 5 times. Do not search for a perfect sentence that may not exist. That is our third sign. You change your answer again and again. And the simple answer: trust the first clear sentence that comes to you. Sometimes, moving forward is more important than making every word better. Our fourth sign can stay inside your mind for a very long time. You worry about small mistakes. Can I ask you something? Have you ever made one small English mistake, then thought about it all day? Maybe you said the wrong word. Maybe your pronunciation was strange. Maybe you forgot an easy sentence. The conversation ended. The other person went home. But inside your mind, the conversation continued. Again, and again, and again. Can we think about one woman? She was talking to a visitor. They had a nice conversation. They talked about food, travel, movies. Then, the woman made one mistake. She wanted to say, "I went there last year." But she said, "I go there last year." The visitor understood her. The conversation continued. They laughed. They talked for 10 more minutes. Then they said goodbye. That evening, the woman sat at home. She did not remember the nice conversation. She did not remember the laughter. She remembered only one thing. I said go. I should have said went. She closed her eyes. Why did I make that mistake? Can I ask you something? What do you think the visitor remembered? Maybe the friendly conversation. Maybe the funny story. Maybe the smile. Maybe the visitor did not remember the mistake at all, but the woman carried it home. Many learners do this. They take one tiny mistake and make it bigger and bigger until it covers everything they did well. Can I tell you one more thing? Imagine a beautiful white shirt. There is one tiny spot on it. If you look only at the spot, you may forget the whole shirt is clean. Mistakes can be like that. One small mistake does not erase 10 good sentences. One wrong word does not destroy a conversation. One strange sound does not mean you cannot speak English. Look at the whole picture. Did you try? Did you communicate? Did someone understand you? Did you continue? Then something good happened. Children make mistakes. Then quickly move to the next thing. They do not carry every mistake for 3 days. Maybe we can learn from them. Notice the mistake. Learn from it. Then put it down. You do not need to carry it everywhere. So the next time you make a mistake, ask yourself one question. Did the conversation continue? If the answer is yes, smile. Your English worked. That is our fourth sign. You worry about small mistakes. And the simple answer, learn what you can, then let the mistake go. Because your English journey is much bigger than one wrong word. Our fifth sign is something many learners do without knowing it. You compare yourself with better speakers. Can I ask you something? Have you ever listened to someone speaking English very well? The words came quickly. The pronunciation sounded natural. The speaker looked comfortable. Then, you looked at yourself. Why can't I speak like that? Why am I so slow? Why do I make so many mistakes? A few minutes ago, you felt good about your English. But after hearing someone else, everything changed. Can we think about one young woman? She had studied English for 2 years. When she started, she understood very little. Simple stories were difficult. English videos felt too fast. But she kept learning. Little by little, she improved. Now, she could understand easy stories. She could read short books. She could have simple conversations. One day, she watched a video online. A man was speaking English very well. He spoke quickly. He used difficult words. His pronunciation sounded wonderful. The young woman watched him. Then she became quiet. My English is terrible. She closed her English book. She did not want to study anymore. That evening, her sister asked, "What's wrong?" The woman showed her the video. Look at him. His English is so good. My English is nothing. Her sister watched the video. Then she asked, "How long has he studied English?" The woman looked surprised. "I don't know." "Where did he grow up?" "I don't know." "How often does he use English?" "I don't know." Her sister smiled. "Then why are you comparing his journey with yours?" The young woman became quiet. "Can I ask you something? Have you ever done the same thing? We see someone speaking well, but we do not see their whole journey. We do not see the years of practice. We do not see their mistakes. We do not see their difficult days. We only see one moment. Then, we compare that moment with ourselves. Can I tell you one more thing? Imagine two trees. One tree is tall. The other tree is small. Would you look at the small tree and say, "You are a bad tree"? Of course not. Maybe it was planted later. Maybe it needs more time. Maybe it is growing in a different place. But it is still growing. Your English is the same. Someone may speak faster than you. Someone may know more words. Someone may understand more. That is okay. Their journey is not your journey. Look at yourself 6 months ago, 1 year ago. Can you understand more now? Can you say more now? Do some things feel easier? That is the comparison that matters. Children do not stop learning to walk because someone else can run. They take another step, then another. Maybe we can do the same. Let other learners inspire you, but do not let them make you feel small. Your English is growing in its own time. That is our fifth sign. You compare yourself with better speakers. And the simple answer: do not measure your beginning with someone else's long journey. Look at your own steps. Then keep walking. Our sixth sign may sound strange. You study more, but use English less. Can I ask you something? How many English books do you have? How many videos have you saved? How many word lists have you made? Maybe a lot. Now, how much of that English do you actually use? Many learners believe they always need something new. A new book, a new lesson, a new grammar rule, a new list of words. Learning more feels good. But sometimes, we keep collecting English without using it. Can we think about one man? He loved buying cooking books. He had books about bread, soup, pasta, cakes, food from many countries. Every weekend, he bought another book. His friend visited his house one day. He looked at the large shelf. "Wow, you must be a great cook." The man laughed. "Not really." His friend looked surprised. "But you have so many cooking books." The man smiled. "Yes, but I don't cook very often." His friend laughed. "Then maybe you don't need another book. Maybe you need to go into the kitchen." The man became quiet. Then he laughed too. "Maybe you're right. Can I ask you another question? Could your English be like that? Maybe you do not need another list of 50 words today. Maybe you need to use 5 words you already know. Maybe you do not need another grammar lesson. Maybe you need to say 10 simple sentences. Maybe you do not need to watch another video about speaking English. Maybe you need to speak English. Learning is important, but using what you learn is also important. Think about a closet full of beautiful shoes. If you never wear them, they cannot take you anywhere. Your English knowledge is the same. Words need to be used. Phrases need to be spoken. Sentences need to come outside. Can I tell you one more thing? Sometimes, studying more feels safer than using English. When you study, no one hears your mistakes. No one waits for your answer. You can stay comfortable. But using English feels different. You may make mistakes. You may feel slow. You may forget words. That is exactly why you need to use it. Children do not spend years learning how to play before they begin playing. They play. Then they learn while they play. Maybe we can do the same. Use the English you already have. Say the words you already know. Make simple sentences. Repeat useful phrases. Do not wait until you know everything. You already know enough to begin. So tomorrow, before learning 10 new words, use 10 old words. Before watching another lesson, say something aloud. Before buying another book, open the one you already have. That is our sixth sign. You study more, but use English less. And the simple answer: do not only collect English, let your English do something. Our seventh sign may be the most important of all. You forget to enjoy English. Can I ask you something? When did English become so serious? Maybe at first, you were curious. You heard an English song. You wanted to understand it. You watched a movie. You wanted to know what people were saying. You saw words from another world. And you thought, that is interesting. But then, something changed. English became a test, a score, a level, a problem. Every new word became something to remember. Every mistake became something to worry about. Every story became something to study. And little by little, the joy disappeared. Can we think about one little boy? He loved drawing pictures. Every afternoon, he sat at a small table. He drew houses, trees, animals, funny faces. His pictures were not perfect, but he loved making them. One day, someone told him, if you want to become good at drawing, you need to practice seriously. So the boy made a plan. He decided to draw for 2 hours every day. He studied lines, shapes, rules. Every time he made a mistake, he started again. Every time a picture looked strange, he became upset. Weeks passed. One afternoon, his mother saw him sitting at the table. The paper was empty. Why aren't you drawing? The boy looked down. I don't know. I don't like it anymore. His mother sat beside him. Then she picked up a pencil. She drew a very funny cat. The ears were too big. The legs were too short. The boy looked at the picture. Then he laughed. That cat looks funny. His mother smiled. I know. Then she gave him the pencil. Can you draw a funnier one? The boy smiled. He started drawing. Soon, they were both laughing. Can I ask you something? What did the boy need? More rules? More practice? A better plan? No. He needed to remember why he loved drawing. Maybe English can be the same. Learning is important. Practice is important. But joy is important too. Listen to a story because you like it. Watch something that makes you laugh. Learn a funny phrase. Sing a simple song. Enjoy understanding one small sentence. You do not need to turn every English moment into work. Can I tell you one more thing? A road feels much longer when you hate every step. But when you enjoy the walk, you stop looking at the clock. Children understand this naturally. They return to things they enjoy, again and again. And while they are having fun, they learn. Maybe we can remember that. English is not only something to finish. It is not a mountain you must quickly climb. It can be a road you enjoy walking. That is our seventh sign. You forget to enjoy English, and the simple answer: bring some joy back into your learning. Because sometimes, the best way to continue is to remember why you started. Now, we have talked about 7 signs. You make every sentence too long. You check grammar before every word. You change your answer again and again. You worry about small mistakes. You compare yourself with better speakers. You study more but use English less. And you forget to enjoy English. Can I ask you something? Did one of these signs feel familiar? Maybe you smiled. Yes, that's me. Maybe several of them felt familiar. That is okay. You do not need to change everything today. Can we think about one man? Every morning, He carried a large bag to work. Inside the bag, there were many things: books, papers, a bottle of water, old notebooks, things he did not need. Day after day, he carried the heavy bag. One morning, his friend asked, "Why is your bag so heavy?" The man laughed. "I have many important things." His friend opened the bag. He looked inside. "Do you need this old book today?" "No." "What about these papers?" "Not really." "This notebook?" "I haven't used it for a year." His friend smiled. "Then why are you carrying everything?" The man became quiet. That evening, he emptied the bag. The next morning, he carried only what he needed. The bag felt light. Walking felt easier. Nothing about the road had changed. The road was still the same. The distance was still the same. But the journey felt different. Can I ask you another question? Maybe learning English is like that. Sometimes, English is not too heavy. Maybe we are carrying too many things. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect sentences, other people's progress, old mistakes, big expectations. We carry all of them. Then we ask, why is English so difficult? Maybe we can put some things down. You do not need to forget grammar. You do not need to stop learning. You do not need to stop trying to improve. But you can stop carrying everything at the same time. When you speak, just speak. When you listen, just listen. When you make a mistake, learn what you can. Then continue. When someone speaks better than you, smile. Then return to your own journey. Can I tell you one more thing? A lighter bag does not make you a lazy traveler. It helps you walk farther. Maybe your English needs less pressure, less worry, less thinking, and more space. Space to try. Space to make mistakes. Space to enjoy one simple story. So today, look inside the bag you're carrying. What can you put down? Maybe one fear. Maybe one old mistake. Maybe the need to sound perfect. Put down one thing. Then take another step. You may discover something surprising. The road was never asking you to be perfect. It was only asking you to keep walking. Can I share one more story with you? There was a young woman who loved flowers. One spring, she decided to grow a small garden. She bought many books about flowers. She watched videos. She learned about water, sunlight, soil. She made a perfect plan. On Monday, she would give the flowers water. On Tuesday, she would check the soil. On Wednesday, she would study the leaves. She wrote everything down. Then, she planted the flowers. Every morning, she went outside. She looked closely at the plants. Are they growing? She measured them. She checked the leaves. She worried about the water. Is this too much? Is this too little? She worried about the sunlight. Is it too hot? Is it too cold? One morning, her grandmother came to visit. She saw the young woman looking worried. What's wrong? The woman sighed. I'm trying to grow these flowers perfectly. Her grandmother smiled. Perfectly? Yes. I don't want to make a mistake. Her grandmother sat beside her. Then she looked at the flowers. Do you know what flowers need? The young woman nodded. Water, sunlight, good soil. Her grandmother smiled. And time. The young woman became quiet. Her grandmother continued. You cannot pull the flowers up to make them grow faster. You cannot watch them every minute. Give them what they need. Then let them grow. Can I ask you something? Maybe your English needs the same thing. Yes, you need practice. You need stories. You need useful words. But after that, you also need space. You need time. You need to trust the process. Many learners are always checking themselves. Am I better now? Why am I still making mistakes? Why am I not fluent? They look at their English every day, like the young woman looking at her flowers. But growth is often quiet. You may not see it today. You may not feel it tomorrow. Then one day, you understand a sentence that was difficult before. You answer a question without thinking for 10 seconds. You remember a phrase naturally, and you realize something has changed. Can I tell you one more thing? You cannot force a flower to open. You give it what it needs. Then you wait. Maybe we can treat our English the same way. Learn. Practice. Use it. Enjoy it. Then give yourself time. Do not check your progress every 5 minutes. Do not ask yourself to become perfect tomorrow. Trust the small things you do every day. One story, one sentence, one new phrase, one small conversation. Then, let your English grow. Sometimes, thinking less does not mean caring less. It means trusting more. And maybe, that is something your English has been waiting for. Can I ask you something? What would happen if you stopped trying to speak perfect English for one day? Just one day. Can we think about one young man? He had studied English for many years. He knew grammar. He knew many words. He understood simple stories. But every time he spoke, he became nervous. He checked every sentence. He worried about every word. One morning, he decided to try something different. Today, I will use easy English. That was his only plan. Later that day, he met his English teacher. The teacher smiled. How was your morning? Usually, the young man would think for a long time. He would search for a good answer. But this time, he simply said, it was good. Then he added, I went for a walk. The teacher smiled. Where did you go? The young man answered, I went to the park. Was it busy? A little. Then, something strange happened. The conversation continued. The young man did not use difficult words. His sentences were not long, but he was talking. One sentence, then another, then another. A few minutes later, he realized something. He was not thinking about grammar. He was not checking every word. He was simply having a conversation. After the lesson, he walked home. He smiled. That felt different. Can I ask you something? What changed? Did his English suddenly become better? No. Did he learn hundreds of new words? No. He gave himself permission to be simple. And because he became simple, he became free. Many learners believe difficult English is better English. But often, the best English is the English you can use. A simple sentence you can say is more useful than a perfect sentence that never comes out. Can I tell you one more thing? Think about opening a window. When the window is closed, the room feels heavy. The air does not move. Then, you open the window. Fresh air comes inside. Nothing outside has changed, but the room feels different. Maybe your English needs an open window. Less pressure, less worry, less checking, more space, more trust, more freedom. So, tomorrow, try something simple for one day. Do not try to impress anyone. Do not try to sound perfect. Just communicate. Answer one question. Say one simple idea. Use the words you already know. Then continue. You may be surprised. Maybe English was never asking you to be perfect. Maybe it was only waiting for you to relax your grip and let the words move. Can I share another story with you? There was a little girl who loved playing the piano. She had learned only 3 simple songs. Every evening, she played them. Sometimes, she made mistakes. Sometimes, she played too slowly. But she smiled. One day, her older cousin came to visit. Her cousin was a very good piano player. She sat down. Then she played a beautiful song. Her hands moved quickly. The music filled the room. The little girl watched quietly. After the song, everyone clapped. But the little girl did not smile. That evening, her mother found her sitting beside the piano. "Why aren't you playing?" The girl looked down. "I'm not good." Her mother sat beside her. "Why do you think that?" "My cousin is much better." Her mother smiled. "How long has she played the piano?" The girl thought, 10 years. "And how long have you played?" 3 months. Her mother nodded. "Then why are you asking your 3 months to look like her 10 years? The little girl became quiet. Her mother opened the piano. "Play your favorite song." The girl shook her head. "I'll make mistakes." Her mother smiled. "Then make them." The little girl laughed. She put her hands on the piano. Then she began. The song was simple. One note was wrong. Then another. But her mother smiled. The little girl continued. When the song ended, her mother clapped. The girl smiled. "Can I play it again? Can I ask you something?" Maybe we are too hard on the learner we are today. We look at someone who has practiced for years. Then we look at ourselves, and we feel small. But your English today is not supposed to be your English forever. It is only your English today. That is an important difference. You are still learning, still growing, still moving. Can I tell you one more thing? A beginning does not need to look like an ending. A small tree does not need to look like a forest. A quiet stream does not need to look like the sea. Give yourself permission to be where you are. Use the English you have today. Enjoy the stories you can understand today. Speak the sentences you can say today. Tomorrow, you can learn more. Next month, you may speak more easily. Next year, you may look back and smile. But today, be kind to the learner you are now, because that learner is doing something important. That learner is continuing. And sometimes, continuing is more powerful than being perfect. Can I ask you another question? When was the last time you used English without judging yourself? Maybe you sang an English song. Maybe you repeated a funny sentence. Maybe you talked to yourself while cooking. Maybe you watched a story and simply enjoyed it. For a few minutes, you forgot about levels, grammar, scores, mistakes. You were simply using English. How did that feel? Can we think about one young woman? Every evening, she studied English at her desk. She had a large notebook, many pens, many word lists. She studied hard. But one evening, she felt tired. She closed the book. Then she went to the kitchen. She wanted to make a sandwich. While making it, she saw a piece of bread. She smiled. Bread. Then she picked up the cheese. Cheese. She laughed. This is a very serious English lesson. She put the cheese on the bread. Very good. Then she looked at the sandwich. Beautiful. She started laughing. The sandwich was not beautiful. It looked terrible. So she said, "No, very ugly sandwich." She laughed even more. For the next few minutes, she talked to herself. "Where is the knife? Oh, here. I need water. I'm hungry." Her English was simple. Her grammar was not always perfect. But something happened. She enjoyed herself. The next evening, she did it again, then again, little by little. Speaking English stopped feeling like a test. It became something she could play with. Can I ask you something? What if you gave yourself permission to play with English? Say strange sentences. Make yourself laugh. Talk to your coffee. Talk to your dog. Ask your chair a question. The chair will not answer. That is okay. Maybe learning does not always need to look serious. Children know this. They play with sounds. They repeat funny words. They say the same sentence again and again. They enjoy language before they understand every rule. Maybe adults can do that too. Can I tell you one more thing? When you are afraid, your world becomes smaller. You stop trying. You stay quiet. But when you play, the door opens. You become curious. You try things. You make mistakes. Then you try again. So tomorrow, find one moment to enjoy English, not improve, not study harder, not become fluent. Just enjoy it. Listen to something funny. Say one sentence with a silly voice. Describe your terrible sandwich. Smile. Because joy is not a waste of time. Joy can help you return tomorrow. And the learner who returns has another chance to grow. Can I share one more story with you? There was an old man who liked walking near a river. Every morning, he followed the same path. The path was quiet. There were trees on one side. The river was on the other. One morning, he saw a young man walking very quickly. The young man looked at his watch. Then he walked faster. The old man smiled. "Good morning." The young man quickly answered, "Good morning." Then he continued. The next morning, the old man saw him again. Again. The young man was walking quickly. Again. He looked at his watch. After several days, the old man asked, "Why are you always in such a hurry?" The young man stopped. "I'm trying to walk 5 kilometers every morning." The old man nodded. "Why?" "Because I want to become healthy." The old man smiled. "Do you enjoy walking?" The young man looked surprised. "Enjoy it?" "Yes." "Do you see the river?" The young man looked at the river. "Sometimes." "Do you hear the birds?" The young man listened. For the first time, he noticed them. "Not really." The old man smiled. "Maybe tomorrow, walk a little slower." The next morning, the young man returned. This time, he did not look at his watch. He walked slowly. He saw the sunlight on the water. He heard birds in the trees. He felt the cool morning air. When he finished, he realized something. He had walked less, but he wanted to come back tomorrow. Can I ask you something? Could learning English be like that? Sometimes, we are in such a hurry. We want to become fluent. We want to understand everything. We want to speak quickly. So we keep looking at the clock. How long will this take? Why am I not better yet? How many words do I need? We move faster. We study harder. But we forget to look around. We forget the story. We forget the small sentence we understood today. We forget the new word that made us smile. Can I tell you something? A journey is not only about reaching the end. Your life is happening while you walk. Your English journey is happening too. Maybe today, you understood only half of a story, but you enjoyed it. That matters. Maybe you spoke only 3 sentences, but you were brave enough to try. That matters too. Maybe you learned one useful phrase, and tomorrow, you will use it. That is growth. Do not run so fast that you miss it. Walk, listen, look around. Enjoy the small changes. Your English does not need to become perfect today. It only needs a place in your life. A small place. A happy place. A place you want to return to. Because the best learning plan is not always the fastest plan. Sometimes, it is the plan you can continue. Before we finish our story, can we stay together for one more moment? Think about all the thoughts you carry when you use English. Is this correct? Do I sound strange? What if I make a mistake? Why am I so slow? Why is that person better than me? I need to study more. I need to become fluent faster. That is a lot to carry. No wonder you feel tired sometimes. Can we imagine a small boat? The boat wants to cross a lake. Inside the boat, there are many heavy boxes. One box says, perfect grammar. Another says, never make mistakes. Another says, speak like other people. Another says, learn faster. Another says, you are not good enough yet. The boat begins to move, but it is very slow. The person inside the boat becomes worried. Why is this so difficult? Then, one by one, the person looks at the boxes. Do I need to carry all of these? The first box goes out, then another, then another. The boat becomes lighter. The lake has not changed. The distance is still the same. But now, the boat can move. Can I ask you one final question? What are you carrying? Maybe you are carrying one old mistake. Maybe you are carrying someone else's progress. Maybe you are carrying the need to understand every word. Maybe you are carrying the idea that simple English is not good enough. You do not need to throw everything away. Learning still matters. Practice still matters. Good habits still matter. But pressure is not the same as progress. Worry is not the same as learning. Thinking more is not always the same as improving. Sometimes, you need to put one box down, then breathe a little easier. Use one simple sentence. Enjoy one easy story. Make one mistake. Smile. Then continue. Your English does not always need more rules. Sometimes, it needs more room to move. It needs more chances to come outside. It needs more patience, more kindness, more joy. Can I tell you one final thing? You have already learned many things. You have already walked many steps. Maybe you are moving slowly. That is okay. Maybe your English is still simple. That is okay too. Do not make the journey heavier than it needs to be. Let simple English be enough for today. Let one small step be enough. Let one good moment be enough. Tomorrow, you can take another step, and another, and another. One day, you may look back. You may remember all the things you worried about. The mistakes, the grammar, the comparisons, the need to be perfect, and maybe you will smile because you will finally understand something. Your English began to feel easier, not when you knew everything, not when you stopped making mistakes, not when you became perfect. It became easier when you stopped holding it so tightly, when you gave yourself permission to try, to speak simply, to learn slowly, to enjoy the road. So keep learning, but leave some space for joy. Keep improving, but leave some space for mistakes. Keep moving forward, but do not forget to look around. The road is long. That is not bad. It means there are many stories waiting for you, many words to discover, many small moments to enjoy. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for continuing your journey. Put down what you do not need. Carry curiosity. Carry patience. Carry joy. Then take one more step. Not perfectly. Not quickly. Just naturally. One sentence at a time. One story at a time. One beautiful day at a time. See you in the next story.